All right. All right, everyone who's here, let me get good morning, good afternoon to all of you guys here. Let me see here. See. All right. Let's see who's here. Sure. I'm going to go ahead here. Let's see. Huh. Okay, one moment, guys. We're having a couple of technical difficulties here. Okay, that should be good. Okay, here we go. All right, it just didn't want to act right for me for a moment. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I know a few people had some questions today, and I wanted to make today about you guys. Um, and I have the charts pulled up here for you guys, and just kind of looking at a few things here. And a couple people asked if they were just beginning, what would be some, some videos that I could upload, some things that I could do. Definitely gonna try to make a catalog for you guys, like just from the beginning. I know a while back I did a like betting cryptocurrencies and just some things from the start that I would do. I'm going to start doing that this weekend and making a pre-recorded live stream for you guys. And so this morning we did see some things. So this is not surprising, but this absolutely happens in cryptocurrency. We had a pullback. Uh, a fair pullback on select a good few cryptocurrencies overnight. Even though Bitcoin remains at a at $103,845. So we're still up, and people are wondering, well, why are some of these altcoins not running? And it all has to do with Bitcoin dominance, and also has to do with dilution of the market. So one thing that I wanted to talk about today, along with kind of psychology trading, and I told the group we kind of talk about some things that I look at that can help, that I've always liked to do over the years that have helped me. And one of those things is finding cryptocurrencies, right? Number one, I like to have multiple favorites lists. So if you go and you can create this on your personal. I try not to have too many things on my phone, but if you're using a phone and you just have, like, say it's, your trading app on your phone or something like that, you can make a favorites list. Usually tier one exchanges are um, the the best to do, favorites list. You can do, I don't use Mexi. That's not because I, hate Mexi or anything like that. I just don't use Mexi. I've had trouble in the past. I've actually had like money for no reason taken from me. I was out of the country the whole time, and never used a VPN on the device that I had, and they confiscated thousands and thousands of dollars for no reason, and I couldn't get a hold of support. So it's just one of the reasons I don't use Mexi. But you can make a favorites list, and what I do is I kind of look at all of the cryptocurrencies that are hot, not just the ones that I'm invested in. If everybody wants to go to the chat, if they have questions, that would be great, so I can hear from you guys. If you guys would like trades chat or executive chat, whichever chat you guys pick, glad to see you guys there. If not, check me out later. Um, and so favorites list. So I like to make a favorites list, right, of all the various cryptocurrencies. So number one, I'm going to go here, right? I'm going to go here. I know a lot of you guys know this site, but this is where I'm going to go. And so I'm going to go to cryptobubbles.com or .net, and I'm going to look here. So it's probably got it adjusted for where I want it here. So it's got 1 to 100. Okay, so this is the top 100 cryptocurrencies. And let's just look at this for a minute. So this is an interesting pick here. We've had a few Coles really shout this one out since its inception. And honestly, for a new cryptocurrency, you'll hear a lot of people tell you, like, try to stay away from cryptocurrencies that are in the general cycle coming out at the end of the cycle, right? Because for one, you may have VCs that may be early dumpers. It doesn't catch the hype, or it's late to come out. It'll be a more of a next cycle cryptocurrency, and sometimes they can run up drastically in a short period of time, and we've seen that happen before. But Walrus was able to get tier one listings like that. Had a lot of large influencers behind Wall. I wanted to get into Walrus. I didn't, just because it was a new cryptocurrency, but I knew that it would probably do somewhat pretty well. But I go to here and I look and see, okay, what's up? So this is the top 100. What you'll kind of notice sometimes is the top 100. Look here, guys, we have some minimal. I mean, if you look at the top 100, I think the largest one up right here, we got 10.1% on PulseX. So, and that's only got a 2.9 million volume. Ondo shot up in the last little bit here. We got virtuals down. A lot of stuff just hanging on or down. But I go here and I look. And so let's see out of the cryptocurrency. So the whole market, guys, let's look at that. Guys, the whole market took a hit overnight. So there was definitely some liquidity pulled overnight. And we can see that by looking here. When I looked, let's say 2 days ago, this was, I believe, the 300 to 400 range, 301 to 400, was in the 6%, 5 or 6% gain range. So we can see off the bat, last night there was some liquidity pulled off the market, and that's to be that's very common. The reason why I'm going to talk about just that in general about the volatility right now is someone asked, well, you say you have a trade, right? And 9 out of 10 are good, or even 7 out of 10 are good. That's a great average for a trader. Going from day to day in a volatile market, and yes, it's cooled down, right? It's not as volatile as it has been, but we still have not had the monetary policy shifts that we've had. So a lot of traders are going to view this market and see there's a few different types of traders I'm going to get into, but some traders are going to view this market as they want to view it as a trader's market. So you're going to see a lot of people, for instance, Mubing, the meme coin. We did a very successful short on that. If you notice, it'll fluctuate 20 and 30% one way or another within a span of hours, right? As you see people taking profits, back and forth. And so as we're watching this, we can kind of see different percentage gains over the top, say, 500 cryptocurrencies. The lower you go is the lower the market cap, the more risk, but also the more you have to gain. But we can see there was a lot taken out over the past few hours. So here we go here. Recently, I've noticed this, and you guys have probably noticed this. We've had a meme coin pop off, and you guys have seen this. I know you guys are like, yeah, I've seen it. Our group had a very successful swing trade on Titcoin that took an even beating. I mean, from the entry point at 2 cents, and it got up to 8 cents, but then retraced now to 5 cents. You have some standouts, and see, this is what you're going to notice. When you talk to various cryptocurrency traders, you're going to look here, right? And you'll see, like, well, why is my portfolio not the one that has the 70% gain in one night? Your portfolio is going to have its day. I can't promise that, but more than likely is going to have its day. And also, we have created a different culture, and I'm going to talk about that now. So, for one, we have a trader's market. So, a lot of people have the word uncertainty in their minds. When I've talked to a few buddies that are that work at hedge funds, they're saying that a lot of people still have the uncertainty, the wording of Trump saying it's a pause, but the tariffs aren't going to go back to where they were. It's still uncertainty in the market. The Fed still has not pivoted. The monetary policy, which is not for this video, but the monetary policy is not fully in our direction. But this is great news, guys. We are seeing some of these things come to life again. We are seeing regained interest, but this is nothing compared to interest from retail. We saw a large exodus of retail over a year ago that have not came back. And that is usually a great sign. I recommend everybody to follow this app if you're not. And it's a X page, Twitter page, and it's called Coinbase app RankBot. So I followed them for a while. So what this does is this is an extra signal. Okay, this is not something that you're like, I'm going to bet all my life savings and my whole crypto portfolio on this signal alone. But it's a good signal, especially combined with traditional signals, along with the fear and greed index. It tells you how many people are downloading cryptocurrency related apps, and it updates daily. And so right now, as of 11 hours ago, all apps, we were up from 8 a.m. on the 13th of May from 228 to 225. Okay. So out of all the apps being downloaded, Coinbase is being downloaded. It's way down the list. I mean, 225. Okay. And in finance apps alone, we are down. We were at 15. Now we're down to the 19th downloaded finance app. And so what this does is you'll notice I've looked at this, and now I've been in, it's been some years that I've been in this, but this hasn't been around for forever, but it's been a while. But I've looked at the Coin app RankBot, and when you see Coinbase is getting close, is like the number 5, number 10, number 3 most downloaded app, you're going to be looking to get out of the market. That's my opinion. You're also going to want to pair that with other factors, but that's maximum euphoria, right? Everybody, your mom's cousin is contacting you like, hey, you're in crypto. How do I buy a Bitcoin at $150,000? How do I buy XRP at $6 or $4? And so this one is a good tool just to have, put in your tool bag. Very, very cool to look at. I'm looking at chats here. If anybody has any questions, I know I will get to them later, but we have a whole video to go over some things. So I'm back to this, is I'm going to come here and I'm going to look at various cryptocurrencies and how they're doing. When we talked about your portfolio, like, why is my portfolio not popping off or such and such? It's everybody has a day and a time, and it's also your risk tolerance. There is a few things that I do to try to mitigate risk with meme coins that I will talk about today, but at the end of the day, they are meme coins. and they can absolutely go to zero. They can absolutely lose their hype, and they can absolutely, never be, in the mix, so to say. As you've seen, there's been a revival like Mu Ding. That was, beaten down. Nobody was paying attention to it. Perfect whale opportunity for smart money to build up, build hype, get entry into the cryptocurrency when some liquidity returns, some activity returns, and spike high euphoria, get that cryptocurrency to run, and then you'll see FOMO buying at the top, and then they're going to dump, right? And so meme coins are the easiest asset for a lot of whales and people in general nowadays. It seems that like there's even some banners going around like "Make crypto great again," right? Because so many people aren't interested in the tech anymore. They're more interested in let's say Sats or let's come down here. Launchcoin. This one was pretty interesting. We've heard a lot of people talk about Launchcoin, and basically, you can launch any coin in a decentralized manner. I believe it's got some hype. It's basically to take like VCs out of crypto, and like you can launch any coin, kind of, and have funding for the coin. I believe it's pretty interesting idea. Um, but you'll see here, right? We have a lot of red. There's in it right there. So we had somebody talk about that in our group, kind of down. But let's see here. Look at the volume. I mean, absolutely astounding volume for that cryptocurrency, guys. And absolutely, look at this. Great listings. I do want to say that about uh, INIT, Anisha or Anisha. They have astounding volume. Tier one listings, Binance, BitGet, Crypto.com, Kraken. I mean, you name it. KuCoin, Gate. They have pretty much everybody. But back to this. Here we go. This was one that I wanted to put out for the group here, but I was a little bit worried. I was going to call it about right here. It's about 31 cents, and that I was going to call a short on Mooding. It's very volatile though, as you can see. I mean, you'll have the indicators go up and down very, very fast. Um, but anyways, one thing that you'll notice is people are taking profits. Okay, guys. And I wanted to get into different types of traders. So I have learned over the years that there's a few different types of traders. Okay, there is nowadays there's just pure meme coin traders, right? And they're going to have astounding losses and astounding gains at the same time. As they take risks. But there's also day traders, and those are the people that are going from cryptocurrency to cryptocurrency. They are looking for new opportunities. Say they get 20, 30%, they exit the position and go to the next one. Now, the thing is a lot of people will tell you the most successful traders are the most patient traders, and that is for you to decide. I am more of a patient trader where I like to build my positions in cryptocurrencies that I feel that have good potential, and have a good potential to do well in the future. I try to get ahead of the curve the best I can. Right? We can all make mistakes, but I try to position myself early. And that's why you'll see me like Axelar. You'll see a few other people that have been in crypto for a while have picked up on Axelar and saw that and said, it's got a lot of potential, but it's lacking the hype. And all that for that to change is one large green candle. People will look up Axelar, see what it's doing, and say, "Oh, wow!" Automatically jump into Axelar. So all it takes is one green candle for your portfolio to change and for hype to change. We have seen on Caspa one thing. We have seen Caspa do very well. It has held the flip 10 cents into support so far. I really like to see that. Just full disclosure, I do hold a lot of Caspa. I got into Caspa early. I love Caspa. I have not been putting out any DCAs on Caspa recently, just because it's hard to tell. But right now, it's hard to tell if we do have a pullback. If there will be better prices yet to come. So I have not put out a DCA list at this time. Okay, so one of the main things I wanted to talk about is psychological trading or psychology, like the psychology of a trader. So you guys have heard of round numbers, right? Or general numbers. So say I'm a trader and I look at my phone, I look at my computer, I look at my pad, whatever you're using, and I'm scrolling. I'm maybe on, I'm on, one of many exchanges. So let's just say Binance or Kraken, and we're on that exchange, and we notice that we run into resistance, usually at close to a psychological number. For instance, Mooding. Let's go to Mooding again. Now, this is obviously pretty volatile right now as it's going up and down. Now, we saw that this got up to 30. It says 3379.3379. I did have another exchange, I believe, say 34 cents. But when it reached about 34 cents, you saw a lot of profit taking. So one way to trade the market is off of psychological numbers that people have, and resistance numbers. And they're kind of one and the same. But if you notice, if a trader comes on and sees, okay, well, wow, it ran up and had this huge up at 34 cents. And that's when people started taking a lot of profits and it went down, right? When that cryptocurrency goes back up close to 34 cents, you might imagine that there's going to be at least some profit taking at that level, right? Because you had a huge run up. And so, say if you have a run up back to that 34 cents level, you're probably going to assume that there's going to be some profit taking. And that's exactly what we saw with Mooding last night. It had already reached 34 cents. This chart does not depict it well, but it had reached 34 cents during the day. It came back down to like 30, right in this range, about 30. It came even down to 29 again. And then it came up in the night to almost where it topped out earlier in the day before people took profits again, and look at where it's at now. So that is one thing. If I'm a leverage trader, I'm looking for, on the strong runs that they have, what number does it reach? So like Caspa, okay, we know that 20 cents and 19 cents for Caspa, 16, 19, and 20 cents for me as a trader are very big psychological numbers for Caspa. Now, generally, you can, for Bitcoin, you go in, fives, tens, but that's not always true, right? Because somebody may, like I said, like with Caspa, for me, my psychological numbers are around 16 cents, 19 cents, and 20 cents. I can imagine around those levels, there will be some profit taking. And so I'm going to go in and, look at some of those, and I'm going to do psychological numbers chart and this will be completely of what I, like how I interpret it, because everybody has a different interpretation as far as where they feel like it, the resistance levels are, but they're pretty similar. But I would like to do that for our group, so I'm going to try to do a list for the group of various psychological numbers. But you guys can always find those numbers by watching the charts. When you watch the charts, you will see various psychological numbers that appear within that chart, and you will see when a cryptocurrency reaches a certain level, there's profit taking. Now, recently, it's not as easy to judge, and this is why I'm going to talk about today. Is we are not in altcoin season. Okay, we have seen Bitcoin dominance drop, but we are not in altcoin season. And due to the fact we're not in altcoin season, it's hard to judge when to take profits, especially now. I'm going to be honest, I'm not taking profits on my, on certain select altcoins that I hold. Not yet. Okay. So, but when I'm talking about meme coins or even Caspa, like Caspa, I have to be prepared for myself to know that there is some people that are going to trade Caspa on psychological numbers. 20 cents being that resistance that we bumped our head on, I know that probably people are going to take profits there. Once, if Caspa chooses to go there, which I do believe it will, but that's opinion, I believe people are going to, take profits at 20 cents. Now, this is completely up to you, and as a trader, up to you. But you can choose to take profits, or you can choose to wait. But I have found that, once we get going, right, this is just a warm up. This is just a taste, guys. For instance, Celestia, I'll put this. Celestia has taken a beating last night. I mean, it was 380 to 310. Okay, that is an absolute roller coaster, and you're seeing a lot of profit taking. But one thing we're seeing, look at this, guys. We're seeing good volume, and I like that. And we are seeing it make higher lows. So, as far as leverage trading, I have used TIA. Right now, it's not doing so great. But the whole market overall is, kind of taking a little bit of a beating. But it's got increased volume. So let's go here and look at CAS's volume here. Okay, so 141 million. So that's even got less than TIA right now. I noticed when Celestia dropped, there was an increased volume on Celestia. So probably some smart money loading some bags up. But CAS was doing a good job of defending that 12 cents line. And so, yeah, guys, once we get into it, I am going to be doing some videos of, the basics of crypto trading. Some important things is in this group, we talk about everything, taking profits. We talk about charting. We talk about the monetary policy. Today, I came out and I just wanted to talk to you about some things about what I do and what I look at on various meme coins currently. And because for the altcoin sector, I am not, for instance, Celestia, it's $3.10. It was $20 last year. Okay, so if you're new, you're thinking, oh, wow, that was $20 last year. It was outperforming Render last year. And so a lot of these cryptocurrencies have taken large beatings. Okay, and so I'm not looking to take profits on my core holdings, except for when we do swing trades. Like I've discussed with the group, coming out and saying set aside a portion of your, if you want, a portion of money that you have, and you get in, like I put some swing trades out there. We've been very successful with those, but you can always choose your own cryptocurrency. And say you make 20%, 30%. Get in the habit of taking profit. Get in the habit of taking profit because one thing is, I can tell you that is a number one mistake of many people. They hold too long. See, I'd rather be somebody that sells too early with a profit than sells too late without a profit, right? So I recommended that for everybody, for some of our swing trades, to get in the habit of taking profit. And right now, I wanted to go in and just kind of talk about what we got going on. So right now, let's see here. Um, the Democratic representative on Tuesday moved to force a House vote on his articles of impeachment against Donald Trump. So currently, that means House Republican leaders have 2 legislative days to bring up the resolution. They are most likely to introduce a motion to table the resolution, which would effectively kill it. So right now, we've got another impeachment for Donald Trump. Nothing new here. Back to here. Okay. So we all heard this, guys. This just came out, and it's to stay patient amid cooling trade war and inflation. Okay. So here it is. More than expected inflation, a significant de-escalation of the U.S. trade war, easing fears of a sharp squeeze on American households and businesses in coming months, prompting firms to pair prediction recession and the Federal Reserve room to leave where they are. Okay, so right there, Reserve to leave interest rates the same. Chase and Barclays were firms their forecast on Tuesday to reflect a more benign economic trajectory after the United States and China reached a deal over the weekend to reduce the most punitive of the tariffs they had put on each other since early April. Um, guys, just discussing the article here is, Reuters is a great read. They always have some good stuff here, but we saw what I would like to call is relief rallies. Okay, you'll have a relief rally where the market gets good news, has a reason. Okay, so that's what we always would say is has a reason to bump up, to go up, catch longs, come back down. And so we're not out of the woods yet. Okay, the monetary policy has not shifted. And I want people to understand this, okay? If a month ago we were all like, oh my, wow, look at the charts. The charts are bleeding, everything's on discount. Okay, and I told you this. A month later, nothing has changed. Except for we've got some good news, but the overall monetary policy has not changed. So therefore, we still are not there yet. We are making room, but we are not in just a full upward trajectory just yet. Okay, guys. We still have some FOMC meetings. We still, our bull run is in this man's hands right here, Jerome Powell. Our bull run is in his hands right now. And without quantitative easing in the altcoin market, we need absolutely a full pivot to QE. And on top of that, I believe in being very selective. As you guys can see, when we go to crypto bubbles, there are over 1,000 cryptocurrencies here alone, and even more so that are on DEXs and various trading platforms that aren't even on this list here. And so with more and more cryptocurrencies being added every single day, we need to be selective. And so I try to do the best for the group of being selective in the cryptocurrencies that we pick. And so right now, I'm currently looking at, I currently hold Caspa, Airdrome, Axelar, Cpool, and I own Well as far as the altcoins go. Now I've trimmed those down. I've taken profits on Sui, XRP, ADA, and a few other various cryptocurrencies I've taken profit on. Sui's been a great choice. I actually was very upset at myself for selling a few thousand Sui early. I was upset because I sold it and then it went up a few cents. And I didn't want to buy back. My pride was too big to buy 2 cents higher at 88 cents. And then it went to $4 or $5. But yeah, guys. So this is just a tool that I use here. is the crypto bubbles. When I look at various cryptocurrencies, I know some of us we were talking about Dex Screener, guys. This is a great way to spot some upcoming cryptocurrencies. Um, but I will say that when you use a Dex Screener, please do not just jump in any random coin. Look at this, guys. So we do see Titcoin. After it's retraced, we do see a lot of people picking up. We do see increased volume, increased market cap, and increased interest again in Titcoin right there. So we can see at this price level, it's very attractive. So that is something I'm probably going to be DCAing into again is Titcoin. Um, like I said, as soon as it got beat down, you can see a lot of people have taken profit, but at the same time, it has regained interest again. It is one of those cryptocurrencies that has done fairly well as a meme coin. And so this list here, you can go here and, there's New Ding right there. And it's relatively still at a decent market cap, 258 million. We have seen the likes of Fartcoin go over, over a billion market cap as a meme coin. And, I just kind of wanted to touch on that like I did earlier. And I said, crypto is different now. Many years ago, it wasn't thousands of meme coins. And so you guys got to look here. And when I look here, you see millions of volume, right? And millions of dollars in market cap and meme coins that are going to go to zero. And yes, I can say this accurately. A lot of these will go to zero and will never make it to a centralized exchange. Okay. And so look at all of that money. Now, you would hope it would rotate back into, other cryptocurrencies, but you are seeing more and more people strictly focus on meme coins. And so I thoroughly believe that you have to be agile and adjust your strategy. My goals for this group is to make sure that we're successful. If I need to change a strategy and I need to comb Dex Screener all day, I need to comb X accounts, I need to find out what people are talking about as far as an up and coming meme coin that may get a 10x, a 15x, I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend hours studying for you guys. I've been blessed not to have to work anymore. My job is crypto, but at the same time, like, I love to do this. And so I will absolutely be on here for myself and you guys looking for the next big explosive move. I can't guarantee anything. I mean, we had a great swing trade with Titcoin. We've had a lot of leverage trades that have been excellent, but there is going to be some ones that, don't run or aren't perfect. So I will do my best. I just want to come on here and say, do not try to go on Dex Screener and try it out and just pick a random cryptocurrencies. These are very volatile. You definitely if you're new, want to kind of watch, get to know Dex Screener, and I'm going to do a full report on what to look for in Dex Screener. If you're interested in trading meme coins, that'll be something that you may find valuable. Is what I look for in Dex Screener, and I'll go into that soon. So, just going to end this video on this today, guys. But right here, very interesting. We in the last minute we are in fear, but overall we are in greed, right? And so, as a trader, right? What's the saying? Buy in fear, sell in greed, right? Bitcoin dominance is dropping, guys. Look at that. That's very interesting. We do have a drop in Bitcoin dominance, although I do feel like Bitcoin dominance is probably going to gain more from here, would be my my bet, but I can't guarantee that. But we do see a drop in Bitcoin dominance, right? We've seen a move into Ethereum. We've seen some of that capital rotate into other cryptocurrencies. We've seen some meme coins pop off. And so, yeah, guys, it's great to be here with you guys. The group is just incredible. You guys, on a daily basis are, just if you're not a part of this group, you got to come join this group, guys. These guys in here, we have lots of coaches, lots of experience from all different parts of, cryptocurrency. We have daily TA, we have swing trades, leverage trades. We have the group that's killing it. You guys are absolutely killing it. Got to come check us out. But in summary, guys, I wanted to conclude with this and end the video is that, I look for various numbers as far as meme coins and for leverage trading. I look at previous highs, previous resistance, okay? And I, like with Mooding, when we had that short on Mooding, I saw previous resistance, and I knew there'd be some profit taken, and we were able to get a decent short there. Last night, it was pretty volatile. For Mooding, it was up and down, up and down, up and down. And but you can look at psychological numbers. In mathematics, when people see a round number, psychologically they're more likely to take profit. And so, like I mentioned, like Bitcoin, 100,000, 105,000, 110,000, 120,000, right? Those are psychological numbers that you got to put in the back of your head. And also, like I talked about some of the psychological numbers I have with Caspa. I think I'm going to come out and make a list of various cryptocurrencies and their resistance levels, what I see as their psychological numbers as far as where I believe and see people taking profit on these cryptocurrencies. And I'm going to make a list, and I am going to make a beginner's video. Like if I was just to come on from scratch, what would I do? And I'm going to make a few PDFs with that as well. And I just want to thank you guys, always being supportive. I mean, this group has overall just absolutely, just been overly supportive. We've had great trades. The market is just starting, guys. I can't repeat this enough. If you've made it this far, you've made it through a lot of the stuff. I can't guarantee how a market will go. Everybody here, whether they have 1 million followers or they don't have any. Some people that don't have 1 million followers have been in crypto longer. There's people that don't, that literally have 10, 20, 30,000, 90,000, 100,000 followers that, have been in crypto 2 years. And, it's hard to find a good group. If you are looking for a good group of people that are knowledgeable, that want you to win, that aren't shilling you coins to dump on you, this is the group for you. Everybody here is helping each other win. We're coming up with strategies. We're looking at different things every single day. I mean, the coaches in this group are phenomenal. Please come check this out. I am going to add a link in the bio to our group, and come check us out. It's been great having you guys here. For those that are going to watch later, just in summary, right now we are still seeing some volatility. We are seeing some capital rotate into some altcoins, but right now we still are not at any type of certainty. Okay, so with that being said, where we don't have a full pivot with the Fed, we don't have any certain monetary policy, we are still in for choppiness, okay? And so during that time, I am going to make sure to be posting swing trades. I'll be posting DCA trades every time I do and looking for opportunities for you guys. Satoshi, check out. Please, if you guys have any questions or want a video about anything certain or want me to research something, please ask me. I'd love to hear from you guys. All right. Have a great day. All right, guys. Have a good